Raging wildfires fueled by intense heat and dry air are sweeping across southern Europe, devouring over 19,000 hectares of land across Portugal, Spain, France and Greece, equivalent to more than 65 times the size of Yoido.
폭염과 건조한 기상 여건이 겹치면서 거세게 번지고 있는 산불이 남유럽 전역을 휩쓸어 포르투갈, 스페인, 프랑스, 그리스 등지에서 19,000헥타르 이상이 불에 탔습니다. 이는 우리나라 여의도 면적의 65배가 넘는 규모입니다. My dear, tell us more.
Yeah, Europe's having a tough time. I think it was last Tuesday when I was here, we were talking about the heat wave. We were talking about how cities were really suffering under the heat. And now the wildfire season seems to have started a little bit earlier, and it looks like it's going to be longer than usual. And well, in some areas, it's been a real disaster. In France, near the city of Perpignan, more than 10,000 people were evacuated. A massive wildfire burnt thousands of hectares. It's even affected the Tour de France because emergency crews had to get to the fires to put them out. Portugal has seen issues. Spain has seen issues. Greece has seen issues. And temperatures are climbing back up. So we could see parts of southern Europe hitting 40 degrees or higher again. And, well, that can mean more fires. It's a very dangerous time and hopefully everybody in Europe can stay safe.
네. 지금 유럽에서 우리가 최근에 너무 기온이 높다, 너무나 덥다, 40도 온도 얘기를 한 지가 며칠 되지 않은 것 같은데요. 이번에는 이제 산불 소식입니다. 지금 정말 엎친 데 덮친 격으로 이렇게 굉장히 안 좋은 소식들이 나오고 있는데요. 스페인과 포르투갈 또 프랑스에서 며칠째 계속 이렇게 산불이 확산하고 있는 모습이고요. 이 19,000헥타르라고만 하면은 사실 우리가 딱 감이 오지는 않기 때문에 그래서 이걸 잘 이해하기 위해서 우리한테 익숙한 여의도 와, 이렇게 면적을 비교를 했어요. 그래서 여의도 면적이 65배나 되는 면적입니다. 근데 이제 외국 기사 같은 경우에는 프랑스 파리의 1.8배다. 또 이렇게도 얘기를 하는데 이제 그때는 이제 프랑스 파리에 살고 있는 사람들 같은 경우 아니면 유럽과 익숙한 사람들에게는 또 그게 훨씬 더 와닿는 그런 이제 비유가 되겠죠.
Yes, it's always good to have a comparison that makes sense in our brains.
To put something into perspective.
Yes, something we can picture.
Because when you hear just big numbers, it doesn't really, mean a whole lot.
It doesn't have the same impact.
It doesn't have the same impact, exactly. All right, well, let's have a look at some expressions. And this is an interesting verb used in a story about wildfires. It's devour.
Yeah, let's look at the original meaning first before we go to the meaning here. So when I think of a devour, I think of a lion or a wolf. I think of a wild animal, a carnivore, eating very quickly with great energy and enthusiasm and sometimes aggression.
Right.
So the word devour just means eating and eating very quickly and eating a lot. And we can also use it for a fire because fires are really destructive. And for centuries, we've used these imageries of fire eating a city or eating a forest. So devour makes sense in English to use here, meaning it's consuming all these trees, all these plants. So the equivalent is destroy, but devour has a feeling of intention and aggression and more danger than just destroy.
The spelling is D-E-V-O-U-R, devour, 집어삼킨다라는 뜻인데요. 보통은 이렇게 맹수나 야수 같은 이런 이제 사자 이런 동물들이 배고플 때 먹잇감을 허겁지겁 먹는 이런 모습을 많이 연상하게 됩니다. 호랑이도 그럴 수 있고요.
Of course.
네, 그런데 지금은 wildfires are devouring a lot of land in Europe. 이렇게 표현을 하고 있죠. 그래서 이제 산불이 많은 지역을 집어삼켰다 이런 표현이 되겠고. What about the equivalent to?
Meaning the same as or very similar to. So again, where you talked about, comparing these wildfires, it's the equivalent of 1.8 times the size of Paris or the equivalent to more than 65 times the size of Yoido, meaning it's the same size.
Exactly. And, you have to give an example of something that the listener is familiar with.
Yes.
When you say equivalent to. It would make no sense to say, 19,000 hectares of land is equivalent to X number of times the size of Guadalajara, for example. I don't know, an area that
Yeah.
we're not in right
Exactly.
now. Yeah.
If you happen to live in Guadalajara, fine.
That's
but
fine.
here in Korea,
Yeah.
we want something that makes sense to us. So
Yes.
you talk about the size of Busan or the size of Gwangju or the size of Yeouido.
Exactly. So you have to keep in mind who's listening,
Yes.
who's reading, and then you put, the equivalent to blah blah blah. 이것과 같다. 이것에 해당된다라는 얘기를 이렇게 비유를 통해서 쉽게 이해할 수 있게 하는 거죠. Alright, 그럼 다시 한번 읽어보겠습니다. Raging wildfires fueled by intense heat and dry air are sweeping across southern Europe, devouring over 19,000 hectares of land across Portugal, Spain, France, and Germany, equivalent to more than 65 times the size of Yeouido. All right, let's move on to headline number 4.
Japan has successfully demonstrated a key planetary defense collision prevention technology, according to local media, becoming the second nation after the US to secure this capability despite lagging in general rocket technology.
일본이 소행성과 지구의 충돌을 막는 지구 방어, Planetary Defense의 핵심 기술을 실증하는 데 성공했다고 현지 언론이 보도했습니다. 이로써 일본은 로켓 분야 전반에서는 뒤처졌어도 이 기술에 있어서는 미국에 이은 두 번째 보유국이 됐습니다. Tell us more.
Yes, well, Japan may not be as advanced when it comes to rocket technology as other countries, but it has had a lot of interest in exploring asteroids and is, in fact, a world leader in doing that. And so they were using their Hayabusa 2 asteroid explorer to test this technology. They successfully demonstrated it. And now they're one of two countries in the world that can help protect us. The US is the other one. And I hope that Japan will pay attention and keep guard just in case the unthinkable happens and an asteroid heads towards Earth.
그래요. 그러니까 이제 실제 충돌은 아니지만 충돌 임무와 굉장히 비슷한 수준의 그런 연구를 이제 계속해서 할 수 있는 그런 토대가 마련이 됐다고 볼 수 있을 것 같아요. 그래서 미국에 이어서 이런 planetary defense 기술을 가지고 있는 두 번째 나라가 됐습니다. 지구 방어가 되겠죠. What's collision prevention technology, Paul?
If a collision is when something crashes into something else, something hits something else, or two things hit each other. And prevention is the stopping of that from happening.
Right.
So it's technology that stops crashing. In this case, asteroids crashing into Earth.
collision이 충돌이고요. prevention은 예방, 방지. 그러니까 충돌 방지 기술, collision prevention technology. And if you're lagging,
You're going slower than everybody else. You're falling behind. If you're watching on YouTube today on the Boynan Radio, I hope you have fast internet. Otherwise, the video may lag. It may start to go slower and pause occasionally, and you'll find that you're watching it not quite live. So whenever we use the term lag, something is less fast than everything else. It's not able to catch up or keep up.
그래요. lagging in something. 그러면은 어떤 면에 있어서는 좀 뒤처지다라는 뜻이에요. 그래서 Japan is lagging in general rocket technology. However, when it comes to planetary defense, it's only the second country in the world to have this technology. 자, 다시 읽어보겠습니다. Japan has successfully demonstrated a key planetary defense collision prevention technology, according to local media, becoming the second nation after the US to secure this capability despite lagging in general rocket technology. And here's our final headline.
A Korean research team has found that even a single day of social isolation can change the brain in ways that make individuals less inclined to engage with new people, while identifying potential new therapeutic targets for depression and anxiety disorders.
한국뇌연구원 연구팀은 사회적 고립이 단 하루만 지속돼도 이후 새로운 사람들과 어울리려는 경향이 줄어드는 방식으로 뇌에 변화가 생긴다는 결과를 발표하면서 이것이 우울증과 불안 장애에 대한 새로운 치료 전략이 될 것으로 보았습니다. Tell us more.
It's really interesting stuff, especially when we're all glued to our phones and maybe not meeting as many people as we used to. What they've worked out, they found in their research, is that if you have 24 hours of social isolation, then that can really change a part of your brain. And that part of your brain is how you evaluate relationships. So that if you are isolated for 24 hours, you just prefer the people you know rather than wanting to go out and meet new people, which is the normal tendency for humans. What it does is there's a certain serotonin receptor that surges because of this isolation, and that's a kind of defense mechanism, because if you're meeting new people, you're getting other kinds of serotonin coming in. You're feeling happy, you're feeling excited, you're feeling good. If you don't have that, the brain tries to cope. So all this research, what it's going to do, hopefully, is help them develop a drug that's going to help them treat depression and anxiety disorders. It's all related together, and also a good reminder that we need to get out, that people are meant to meet people.
네. 쥐를 통해서 실험을 한 거예요. 그래서 24시간 동안 일단 생쥐를 격리시켰습니다. 그러고 나서 이제 새로운 개체와 또 익숙한 개체를 만나게 했어요. 그랬더니 격리됐었던 생쥐는 새로운 개체와 어울리려고 하지 않았습니다. 익숙한 개체에게 바로 갔다고 하고요. 근데 이제 고립되지 않았던 그런 일반 생쥐 같은 경우에는 새로운 개체에 관심을 많이 보였대요. 그러니까 이게 뭘 얘기하냐면은 사람이 뭐 똑같이 쥐랑 똑같진 않겠지만 사람에게도 이게 이제 적용이 된다고 한다면 우리가 하루 정도만 고립이 되어 있어도 새로운 사람들을 만나는 것에 대한 그 인식, 그 새로운 관계를 바라보는 방식 자체가 달라질 수 있다.
네.
이 얘기입니다. 그래서 사실은 사람들을 좀 만나고 이럴 필요도 있는데 너무 고립되는 것이 우울증으로 또 이어질 수도 있고 여러 가지 좀 악영향이 또 거기에서 나올 수도 있잖아요. 그러다 보니까 이제 우울증과 불안장애 이런 것에 대한 치료를 또 새로운 방향으로 할 수 있지 않겠느냐 하는 기대감이 나오고 있습니다. Alright, so people who are isolated, socially isolated, they are less inclined to meet new people.
Yeah, and if you're less inclined to do something, that means you have less desire for it. You have less willingness to do it. You don't want to do it as much as you did.
뭐뭐 하려는 경향이 줄어든 겁니다. 뭐뭐 하고 싶은 마음이 줄어들었어요. To be less inclined, I-N-C-L-I-N-E-D, to do something. And what about therapeutic?
Well, therapeutic is, well, related to the word therapy. It's about helping, whether that's healing or treating or curing, whatever it is, you have a therapeutic treatment, a therapeutic process. It's helping the patient get better in whatever way.
네. 이게 이제 치료의라는 뜻이에요. therapeutic라고 하면은 therapy가 있죠. 치료. therapeutic는 스펠링이 T-H-E-R-A-P-E-U-T-I-C인데요. 이렇게 우울증과 불안장애와 같은 정신건강 문제 치료에 새로운 표적이 제시가 됐다는 게 또 굉장히 큰 그런 의의라고 합니다. 그래서 therapeutic target가 그런 이제 치료 표적이 되겠습니다. 다시 한번 읽어볼게요. A Korean research team has found that even a single day of social isolation can change the brain in ways that make individuals less inclined to engage with new people, while identifying potential new therapeutic targets for depression and anxiety disorders. Right, well, that's it for today's headlines.